Welcome to episode, what is this? Four or five? Episode five
Five.
of the Rise Up Odyssey podcast. I'm your host, A Traffic Cone, also known as Danny, with my co-host Haley. Today we're going to talk about identity shifts, how Zoom has a meeting time on the top right corner if you're looking hard enough, and
hmm
getting through, right? It sounds like the plan for today.
Yeah, the Danny lesson of the day would be there is a timer on Zoom.
Mm-hmm. Guy who's been using
Yay.
Zoom for what, 6, 7 years? Jesus.
Well, maybe
Anyway.
it's a newer, it could be a newer feature. I don't know. We can look at that later.
It could be. Yeah, it is real convenient. I'm like, now I know how much time I have left, so I don't have to rush through the end of the show. Instead of just depending on you to like be like, oh, it's getting to be time.
Like give you looks, a code.
Yeah, just like we're getting there.
A
Uh,
minute.
1 minute remaining. Wrap it up, bud.
Oh man.
I did a
The
fear
things we could
factor,
do.
bro.
Yeah. From what, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, from like 3 episodes ago.
It's good.
Yeah, it was cold. My cold shower was cold. Who would have thunk?
Yeah, it is cold. And let's just say I haven't practiced that in a hot second because it's been what, 15 to 40 degrees here again. It's just not appealing.
Hmm.
Once it warms up a tad bit more, I might be more apt to braving that again. So thankfully, we're not into phase one of 75 hard yet.
No, we'll see when we start that. Probably sooner than later. I need something to keep me accountable.
That's up for debate.
Hey, I lifted today. That's progress right there.
It's only been a week. My back is still a little weird right here, so I have been doing lots of walking the past couple days.
Mine just started doing that because I decided to do squat day and hypers, and I did them fast. When you do them fast, you're more apt to do the form wrong, you know? If you do the form wrong, you might hurt yourself.
Yeah, that doesn't sound familiar at all.
No, 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 no. You would think I learned my lesson the last 15 times I've done this, but no. It's more fun
Or
that way.
when I or when I had to coach you.
Yeah.
Count for
Yeah.
you, clean for you, make
Hmm.
sure you do things correctly. And now you
Hmm.
have all the freedom to do everything wrong or
Yeah.
not to my standards.
Yeah, I got to put the weight on
Oh,
myself now, take the weight off myself. It's a lot of work. Um,
oh man, I know. Deadlifts. I think you're banned from that for a while, right?
probably a good idea. I don't think it was the squats
No.
today. It was definitely the hypers.
Like the back extensions?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you probably just over arched at the top, but we can talk about
Hmm.
that later. All right, should
Yep.
we get into the episode or
Nah, I just figured we'd shoot the shit for a little while. No, yeah. So cold
Perfect.
shower.
This is perfectly fine. Let's just how much random shit can we talk about from our day?
Yeah. So we talked about the cold
Oh.
shower. We're going to talk about, I think, identity shifts today. And I mean, this is a great example of an identity shift. It's almost like I planned the whole thing without even planning the whole thing.
Okay, do share.
So, identity shifts, we have these when we have a loss of something or something major in our life changes, right? That's what you just told me about 5 minutes before I hit the record button. And
Yes.
to tie that back into my story of weightlifting today, the old Danny would have lifted wrong all the time. And now the new Danny notices that he lifts wrong. Before, I would just ego lift and lift wrong and not
Mhm.
have the self realization. But now I have the self realization that, hey, I'm doing something wrong. That's what's causing this pain. Instead of just being like, oh, I'm just weak. I need to keep doing more. So,
So you've built awareness, but then why did you still do them not the best way for your back?
well, in the moment, I thought I was doing them correctly.
Okay,
Right. And
following.
it wasn't only
Mhm.
until I got in the car that my back felt really tight and sore. And I'm like, oh, I screwed up here. That's the issue.
Okay.
So now I
Yeah.
know when I do those again, I'm going to do them slower and I'm going to do them more controlled and I'm not going to arch at the top. And I'm going to adjust the little
Yeah.
thing, because if it's too low, taller people.
If it's too low, it's like a really bad quad massage or thigh massage.
Yeah, it might have just been
If
too low
it's
too.
if it's too high, then you just won't have the like range of motion through your hips going down and back up.
No, I had plenty of range of motion, so I think it was too low.
Oh, good. You got an awful quad massage. That would really
Hmm.
hurt after a leg day. So good thing it was leg day.
A good thing it was the last exercise.
Yeah. So I guess you could call that identity shift. But I was thinking more of a significant loss. But over the years of being
Hmm.
more consistent in the gym, you have become more aware of, oh, this hurts now. I wonder what happened. So it's like
Yeah.
problem solving what maybe could have caused the discomfort. And maybe next time I do that, I should either find a resource or try something a little different.
Yeah. Ask somebody to spot me. Saw one of our
Mhm.
mutual friends as I was walking into the gym today. So maybe
Oh,
I'll ask him
nice.
to spot me next time. That would be smart.
Well, you don't even have to spot you. I think it's just talking through like or watching a video on how to do them, and you're like, oh, it's one of those light
Yes.
bulb moments. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, I would say you identify currently as not the best hyperextender, back
Yeah,
extensioner.
considering I don't think I ever did those until that full body program that you put us on. Like ever.
Yeah, right. So when I was your coach actively, I try to avoid those with general population because a lot of times when they're unsupervised, things do happen like this.
Yeah, makes
So
sense. That checks.
so instead we practice other hinging movements. So deadlifts and back extensions, I didn't really have you do a whole lot because I thought there was other ways of doing hinging patterns that are safer for general population that tend to sit a lot.
Ah, are you calling
Yes.
me out? Yeah, I do sit quite a bit.
Well, I think majority of people, yes. So you remember when you couldn't even walk into the gym because you did too much sitting? That was a
Mm-hmm.
bad Danny. That was a Danny that was broken back.
That was bad. That was real rough. That was rough for a
And
long time.
right, it was a hard lesson of, oh, so I should probably stand or use my walking pad or switch positions here and there when I'm sitting at my desk because not being able to get out of bed, sit in a chair, like literally it got that bad. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had to sit on the little ball, remember?
Yes.
I had to
We
borrow it.
survived.
Mm-hmm. I had to borrow the ball from
But
my roommate so I could sit on it. That was fun.
right. Yeah. So it's kind of crazy how sometimes you don't even know that you're shifting your identity, but usually when it's a significant loss, you kind of go through a whole entire pattern of change. Do you
Do you have
agree?
an example for us
A significant life change.
that caused an
Yeah,
identity
so
shift?
see, but do you believe that it doesn't happen eh, as children? I think it's different before adulthood.
What do you mean exactly?
So as children, I don't think we are, well, I guess it's a skill you develop, being more emotionally aware, how your feelings are working for you or against you. What do you do in situations that are difficult so you don't self sabotage, as we've talked about with substances or self harm or just other things, you know? But as a kid, you still have that, what we call innocence in a way, unless something
Hmm.
significant happens to you. So I think moments in life for me in particular was losing my grandfather when I was about 13. My parents divorced, my aunt and uncle divorced about, I don't know, a year after that happened. And then a year or two later, my uncle passed away. So, in my like prime teen years, there was a ton of life change happening around me with people that I love. So I think that right there would cause what most say is like you grew up too fast or you had to grow up in that moment.
I could see that.
So you lose a little bit of that innocence, right? Because you're trying to figure out what's going on in life and why everything is like downward spiraled and changed on you.
I mean, the last time I could remember being a kid, because Because I mean, you know my story. I had to grow up pretty fast too, with a lot of similar experiences. I don't remember being a kid. Like genuinely, maybe the last time was when I was 7 or 8. Like right after that, I kind of just had to take over, just be the adult. Probably at about 9, 10. Start.
Because
Oh, like parents divorce and my mom didn't
mm,
speak the best of English and I had to, kind of step up and be her attorney and talk to attorneys and read over paperwork and tax documents and
and your dad was
that
kind of trying
stuff.
to figure out himself.
Yeah, I mean, he was sort of there.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to help the person that he was going against, right? That wouldn't make any sense. Wouldn't be a very fun
Right.
legal battle for him. Couldn't go to bat for both
Yeah.
sides, you know? So,
Yes. So you kind of see what I was saying, right? We're going back. It's significant moments in our life that can change the trajectory of who we are and where we take ourselves. We have a choice. You could have
oh,
just gone into some dark places, not helped your mom, and became a whole different person.
well, I tell you what, sixth grade, I had all A's and I was offered to skip seventh. I'm not sure if I told you the story, but I was offered to skip seventh and go directly into eighth grade because I was so gifted and smart at the time. Well, my folks divorced in seventh grade. I decided not to skip and they divorced. And then right after that, I fell so far behind in reading and math that they put me into a critical reading program my freshman year of high school. And I had to tell
Oof.
them that I'm not that kind of person. And I had to test out of it immediately because I couldn't stand it. Because I was still smart. I was just lazy and pissed off at the world. And so, you meet friends that are also pissed off at the world and you make poor decisions because you're all in the
Exactly.
same boat. Um,
Yeah.
but fortunately, it took, oh man, I didn't get serious about education again until senior year of high school, maybe end of senior year of high school, and I got all A's again. And then
Oh.
community college, I just didn't care again because there was no accountability. You're an adult. And I have an earlier birthday, so I was already 18 when I graduated high school early still. I graduated a
Mm.
semester early. Still all angry at the world because you have no idea what you want to do and you're working a
Mhm.
minimum wage job you don't like that you had 2 years before that and had to go back to it because there was nobody else hiring. Anyway, um, so more pissed offness for another, oh man, 2.5 years. And then when I finally got my associates, that's when I kind of turned the corner again and got serious about my education and got a decent
Mhm.
job and things sort of worked out.
So it just kind of continued from sixth grade on,
Pretty much, yeah.
just like on and off, angry at the world, found some
Hmm.
friends, like no hard feelings with them or anything. You're still great friends with a majority, most, whatever.
Yeah,
But
probably all of them.
you all wanted to push the boundaries
Yeah,
a
yeah,
little bit and rebel, not listen to your parents, do things they probably wouldn't want you to do, but why not? Yeah.
yeah.
I was like the opposite.
You didn't get banned from street racing in the
Oh,
corporate park you worked at?
no.
Oh, I did.
Oh gosh. So you'd be like the troublemaker, but mild compared to probably what your friends actively did and you just participated in. Me, on the other hand, there were some things that I established in my life, like music. I've talked to you about that. I learned how to play guitar. I was in band and played saxophone. And so I think, like I've mentioned, it kind of helped me express my feelings in a more healthy way. And building that skill and developing it, learning to kind of sing, play, write some music. I think that just really helped me mature and process my feelings and give me a moment to write things out. What's
Hmm.
in my headspace that is causing me turmoil, and I could write that out and then put music to it so it has a feeling to it that you can just let go, whether it's angry or not. Uh, Other than that, I had friends that were more goody two shoe, as we would label it, like kind of active with faith and youth groups, and their families were very supportive. I spent a lot of time with them, and they kind of became a second family when my parents were trying to figure out themselves. Because you have to think they were going through a whole identity shift crisis themselves because they'd been together for 13 years or so, had two kids,
Mm.
and all of a sudden they're trying to figure out, what am I going to do with my life? What now? So while they're going through that, at the same time, me as a teenager was trying to figure out a support system, what to do. And my friend group became that, and music kind of fell into my lap as an outlet. Not exercise. That was not a thing till after college.
I
But
mean, I was always on and off with exercise, but yeah, I think music was really good. I dabbled. I made a couple of songs. They weren't good. They were piss poor at best.
but it's
But
expression. It's
it is
expression.
expression. It is
Yeah.
expression. I I guess I did feel better making those than not making them, you know? Like after you make a song, you still are like, "Oh, okay, I made that. That's cool."
Mhm. It's like a
But
confidence booster, or like you can do things you didn't think you'd be able to.
yeah, I don't think I'll ever rap again. That's probably not going to be a thing I do. But
Thank you.
I think I got a better career singing if, you know, you coach me through it. But yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
music's a
those are
good way.
moments in yeah, those are moments in life where I learned how to play guitar. That's a skill I practiced, got better, started writing lyrics in school, writing speeches and stuff they make you do. So I think just developing those skills kept me going. And then you practice, get better, and then you can go a little bit into public eye, but I never really jumped fully in
You never
by
published
choice.
anything?
um, what do you mean?
Like, did you ever put anything on YouTube or SoundCloud or Spotify or
Uh, Facebook might have some oldies in there,
Hmm,
but please don't.
I might dig.
Oh, buddy, that's how many years ago now? But no, I think I did submit a song once to like a website because that was back in what, 2004 to 7 ish
Oh
before that.
man.
So like
Yeah.
they had websites where you could submit your lyrics and things like that. I believe I did that once. I don't know if it went anywhere. Really don't remember.
I don't think
It's been a
SoundCloud
while.
existed till 2009 maybe.
SoundCloud?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's where
I
everybody
don't think
started
that's
posting them.
I don't think that's what it was. I think I went to like like a website and found a place you can submit your lyrics for like artists to pick up.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. But I can't it's been so long that I guess that memory has been lost. I don't know if it went anywhere or not. But that's definitely identity shift to some degree as well.
Yeah. And I
But
mean, those are good actionable steps for folks.
but
Find
what about
something that's a
now?
good way to cope.
Right. But what about now as adults? Like it's
Hmm.
harder. Do you think it's harder
To have identity shifts?
to admit that you're in a moment in life where you don't know if you're happy where you are or content, as you like to say, or you feel like you want to be someone else or a part of your life you want different, but it's hard for you to admit that to yourself and not just deny it and push it under the rug.
Is it harder? Yes, to admit that for a lot of folks, for sure, because it's
Mm-hmm.
easier to just stay comfortable. I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think it's easier to make the changes once you've admitted it to yourself and want to take the steps? Yes, I do. Because as a kid, you have much more, you're more malleable for sure, but you have much more resources as an adult. Not necessarily monetarily, or even time freedom, but you have more knowledge in your brain. You have more access to a network realistically that can help you do whatever you need to get done.
Is it also a factor of like you're independent now? Before your parents are a factor because you're still a dependent of theirs.
Right.
Mhm. But as far as resources and all this stuff available to you, especially now in the social media world, I don't know. Do people still, I don't know if it's easier. I don't
You
know if I
know,
agree. No.
that's okay.
Uh, if
You're
they
allowed to
ch
disagree.
if they choose and they really want it bad enough, yes. But a lot of times we are so stuck in our comfort zone and not willing to put a tiptoe out, or we do and then we bring it right back because it gets scary or hard or challenging. So yeah, I can sit there and I can learn all day. Hey, if this is who I want to be, let's say I want to gain 5 pounds of muscle and this is how I'm supposed to do it. Well, there's one like an overloaded information. This is what works for this person. This is what works for this person, this person,
Mm-hmm.
that person. I works for me. So I get overwhelmed and I don't do anything. Or I'm like, okay, I need to start lifting 3 times a week. I think that sounds reasonable. I can make time for that. I'm going to just find a full body plan online or on an app. I'm just going to try to figure it out. But it gets hard because you don't know how to do things in the gym, or there's anxiety, or there's feelings, or I'm tired after work. So are the resources and tools more available to you as an adult in 2024? Yes. But taking action and doing those steps to get you there, no.
I think it's being able to break it down too for yourself and knowing what works for you as well. I'll give you an example. Like, I hadn't gone to the gym for what, about a week and a day or so until today. And every day I really wanted to go to the gym. But number one, I don't really like the program we're doing right now. And I've told you that.
Mhm.
So that's not motivating to me. I also wanted to give my body some rest after 75 hard. Really, I was just feeling lazy too. And I just wanted a break from all of it. But every day I would make a conscious effort and go, I'd wake up and I'd be like, I need to go to the gym today. And every single day I did not go. But why was that? Because I had the time. It
Right.
was
So that's
because,
it's an
yes,
obstacle issue.
that was the obstacle. It's like a mental obstacle. But what was the actual issue or what got me past it? Putting my gym clothes on today. That is what I did. Because I
Right.
said to
It's the
myself,
first tiny step. If you put your gym
it's,
clothes on, well, why would you sit there in those if you're not going to the gym?
mm-hmm.
Whoa, mind blown.
So I was like,
But
well,
all
that'll work. Every other time I didn't do it. And today I was like, well, first thing I did this morning was I know I'm not going to the gym for another 8 hours, but I'm going to put my gym clothes on.
right. And so the old Danny, would he have done that, or he would just keep putting it off, putting it off? Do you feel like
Probably,
that's a lesson you've learned over time in practicing this skill of pulling yourself to the gym?
I think that's the identity shift portion.
What was there a fear of, if I don't start going to the gym, I'm going to become this person?
Yeah, 100%.
I'm going to lose my muscle. I'm going to look like skinny again. You know, all those things that you've gone through. Same for me. If I start slacking, like, yeah, not being able to lift this week because I don't want my neck to get worse.
Yeah.
It plays a mind game with me because I'm so used to getting my workouts in. It's like a regimen, a structure. And I'm like,
Hmm.
oh, am I losing muscle? Is it still there?
Yeah.
You
Yep.
know,
Yep. I do
you
the
start to
same
play those
thing.
games and then you get on and then, you know, if you do want to weigh yourself, depending on who you are and if that's a good thing for you, you're kind of like, oh my gosh, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? And then you start to play these games. You're like, it just stop,
Hmm.
stop. You're fine. It has been 5 days max. 5 days max. You are fine. Just start again. Put your clothes on and go. I did walk. I didn't want to. I walked. But yes, thank you. And I'm proud of you for making it back to the gym today, all by yourself.
Thanks. I'm proud of you for actually doing something and not just doing nothing because it's easy to do nothing.
Right. I back in the day in 2011 or so, I didn't identify as someone that worked out or was healthy or had a mindset that could pull myself out of the chair and just say, work out now. Even though I work in a gym doesn't mean I'm going to work out. People are like, oh, you're here all day. And I'm like, yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. I make y'all work out or talk to members that are in the gym. And by the time it's time for me to work out, if I don't plan it appropriately, I'm just done,
Yep.
spent.
Just tired.
Done. I am. So it takes a lot of time. And I think time is a big issue for people when they want to change from where they are to where they want to go or who they want to be. Instead of giving it a timeline, just start practicing the little things that get you there, like putting your clothes on today, maybe finding a different program that you like better that's in the works, realizing what are you even doing it for anymore. If it's not to check off those tasks for 75 hard, why are you doing it now? What's the point? And that might help motivate you.
Well, and I also will give credit to an external circumstance that motivated me today because in between going and wow, work ending and going to the gym, I got a phone call from a friend who watches this show. So you already know who it is. Um,
Okay.
and he was telling me how much he is in a tough mental headspace right now. And it's
Mhm.
because he hasn't been working out. And I was like, huh, I feel similar. Maybe I should go to gym and then I will feel better. Oh, that works.
Yeah.
So shout out to him for not working out to make me go and work out. And hopefully that motivates him to now go work out. And if you're
Right.
listening, Sam, go get your membership reactivated and go to the gym. Okay.
If you're watching,
If you've made it
set
this
your
far,
workout, set your workout clothes out and put them on and then go to the gym.
yep, they're waiting for
Yeah.
you. They want to
Yeah.
do BJJ with you. Go do
What
BJJ.
Okay, so once you got to the gym, you started working out. What made you feel better? Because you just said, like, once you got there, you were done, and you're like, I feel better than I did before. Less of
Oh
a
yeah,
mental rut.
every time. It's the endorphins,
Uh,
it's the ability to lift the weights. I mean, it's all of that. It's like, okay, even though I haven't gone in a week, I'm still strong, or I'm still just as strong, or I might be even stronger because my body has had time to rest for certain lifts. Um, Actually pausing on those reps for like leg extensions and leg curls, which usually I'd just be too lazy and not do it because I'd be so tired. But I actually did pause and do the lifts like I should, and I actually felt them instead of just rushing through the whole set.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
That's growth right there. You
Mm-hmm.
actually paused and felt it burn and then slowly come down. Look at you.
Well, they have a
Changing
timer,
the temp
fortunately.
well, changing the tempo or, anything like that can change the intensity and just make you feel like you accomplished something new in the gym, even though it's the same thing you do all the time. Just that
Mm-hmm.
one little change. And that's where I think a lot of hobbies and skills that you and I have developed, it gives you that confidence in yourself, that you have that value and worth, and that you're capable of doing whatever you want. And when you lose that enjoyment in something you do, or you procrastinate on it,
For a week.
then or trying to get ourselves together for this episode every week. It's a chore.
Yeah,
I think you just like get into that rut because you keep stacking up the losses instead of the wins.
I agree with that. You're just compounding L's instead of W's. And then you just look at yourself
Yeah.
and you're like, oh man, it's been a week. Maybe I can take another week off instead of going, oh man, it's been a week. I need to go.
Do you think the hardest thing with identity shift is having that internal conversation with yourself? Who am I? What am I doing? Why am I doing it? Am I just going through the motions in life? Is there a purpose for me? Those hard questions that we don't like to ask ourselves.
Yeah, I would say that. I would also say that a lot of those for me have been solved through, faith and external things that I know not everybody is into, but you can just believe in yourself if that helps you and talk to yourself as you were, or just talk to an energy or whatever. It could be you, it could be anything. But I think that has helped me personally kind of answer those hard hitting questions. I mean, I've almost died or gotten shot or, all that stuff so many times that I know I'm here for a reason. And if those experiences hadn't happened to me, I wouldn't think that I would be. So I'm fortunate to have experienced death or near death so much that I don't have a problem with those questions personally anymore. But when I
No, that's
did,
Mhm.
well, when I did, I would always look and be like, okay, what's the point? What's the point? What's the point? And then when you start to have crazy experiences like that, that's when you start to realize, okay, there is a point, or I would have been gone by now.
Correct, but that's on a larger scale, like more faith-based, spiritual-based. But I'm saying just what are you doing today? What do you do? What are you doing tomorrow? Does that align with your purpose, what you're here for? Not on a fact that you have a purpose. Yes, I believe everyone has a purpose of why they're here, but it's whether you continue to seek that out or not.
I just think those two are very connected. Because if you believe that you have the higher one, then you're probably going to have the lower one. That's just how my head works.
I don't know.
Or if you have
Maybe
the
that's
lower
for
one, you might have the higher one too.
it might be
Might
for another episode because sounds like there's more to talk about there because I'm saying like more like is my job what I should be doing in aligns with what I believe and my purpose is if I even know what that is. Like I is supposed to serve people, make an impact in their life, but what's that look like and how can I do that?
exactly. And I
But
think once
but
you
I
have
mean
that,
my faith and stuff, yeah, that can help. But I also have to answer these questions for myself and have self-love and the support system of others, the skills, and all of that stuff that comes into it so that I can continue down the path of becoming who I'm supposed to become.
I like that. That's probably a good place to call it for today. We can get into our soapbox again. But
That's okay.
this has been episode, what is it, five? Five
Yeah,
of the Rise of Odyssey podcast. My name is Danny. I'm running out of time here with my co-host Haley. I hope you all have a great rest of your day.